Hello everyone. Welcome back. I'm Boomy, and today we are watching the most underrated dinosaur by TierZoo. Yes, this is another video suggested by Michelle Lundberg over here. And yeah, it's another dinosaur video. If you haven't seen my dinosaur video, I think it was the dinosaur tier list. Go ahead and check it out. It will be in my TierZoo playlist. If you have seen that, then you probably already know that I don't know a lot about dinosaurs. So this is probably something that I have seen before or I haven't heard of before, at least. So I'm excited to go ahead and check this out. So remember, if you like my reactions, don't forget to leave a like, let me know your thoughts on the video down in the comment section below, and consider subscribing. Also, don't forget to leave your suggestions on what I should check out next, anime or YouTube video. That being said, let's go ahead and watch the video.
I've been getting a lot of requests to start posting actual gameplay in addition to my usual character build guides and tier lists. So today I thought I'd share a VOD of an old playthrough I did back during the Cretaceous expansion. I'll be discussing my choices and actions as they come up, so hopefully this will give you a sense not only of how the dinosaur meta really played out, but maybe even give you some strategy ideas for your current playthrough, even though many of the builds featured in this VOD have either been banned or severely nerfed. If people end up enjoying this style of video, I might do some more, maybe even show you all which builds I'm running in the Anthropocene meta. Anyways, that's enough introduction. So here we are running a rather atypical dinosaur build called Dinosaur. A quick look at my stats shows that despite the fact that I'm not playing as a carnivore, I'm actually running a much more offensive build than you might expect.
Alright, let's go ahead and check this out. Dinosaur, that omnivore moveset. Claw Swipe. We have Bite, Intimidate, Slam, okay. Locked until level 8, mating display, sense surrounding. On a minimap, can fail against targets with high stealth rating, and incubate, cures frostbite. Very well-rounded stats. So let's see how this all plays out.
I've spec'd into powerful claws, which will hopefully be enough to deter predator players. My intelligence stat isn't too spectacular, but it's enough to give me access to the parental instincts trait, which is super useful for completing the main quest. For those who don't know, the main quest in any playthrough of the game is to reproduce, and parental instincts can help you earn bonus evolution points in exchange for giving your offspring care and protection. That's endgame stuff though. Right now, using my solid perception abilities, I've detected a pack of Tarbosaurus players who appear to be looking for PvP. As you can probably see, I've had trouble dealing with PKers in the past, even though I survived my previous encounter.
That's why it was a card.
Giving me a pretty severe debuff to my max HP. So instead of trying to take this clan of Tarbosaurus on, this time I'm gonna try a more evasive strategy. It'd be really nice if my teammates would get their act together, since if we actually all grouped up, we'd be able to mount a defense potentially strong enough to repel these predator players. But unfortunately, you never really can count on your teammates in this game, so for now it looks like my only real option is to escape.
Is he gonna draw them out?
Level up just a few more times, because right now, my base speed stat is lower than it needs to be. I've got a high enough endurance stat that these Tarbosaurs would run out of stamina long before I do, but unfortunately they're closing the distance far too quickly for that to be a relevant factor. Thankfully, the leading Tarbosaurus player misses both of his attacks here, giving me one final chance to escape. I could keep running, but obviously they both land an attack. In this case, the fact that I'm next to a cliff gives me a very risky option, one that's basically only preferable when the alternative is certain death at the jaws of the Tarbosaurus clan.
What the hell?
Dealt serious damage and also inflicted a temporary stun on me, but thankfully the Dinosaur build has high enough base HP that even in my already moderately damaged
so he just
state,
fell.
I can still tank the damage. The same fall would probably deal lethal damage to a Tarbosaurus build though, so it looks like they decided to go after my teammates instead.
Oof.
I would go help them, but first of all, it looks like I'm too late, and second of all, it's their fault for leaving me behind in the first place. My goal now is to try to heal, and to grind for XP to level up. My main quest is still to reproduce, but short term, once again, it's probably more important that I focus on survival.
Okay, so at least in this character, the next level up will unlock mating, so that's almost the main quest right there.
In only a
Just
few more
XP.
levels, I unlock the mating ability, which is the first real step in finishing the reproduction quest. So hopefully it won't take too long to get the XP required to level up. Here we are in the forest biome, which is one of the best places to be if you are trying to grind for XP. Because of my character's long-reaching arms, I can access loot that other players can't.
Oh yeah,
giving me a
they are
slight advantage when it
omnivores.
comes to the grind. Unfortunately, leaves are pretty poor XP per hour, so even with this advantage, it'll still take me a while. But at least I'll replenish some of my lost health in the process. This is pretty crucial since an ambush, even from a weaker player, could cost me the game when my health is this low. It's important to run stealth checks on your surroundings every so often, so enemy players
Oh yeah, that's right. This is basically like hardcore mode where your save file gets deleted when you die.
can't easily sneak up on you. Advanced perception abilities can aid in this, but my character doesn't have any of those. Still, I've detected a Protoceratops burrowing nearby. This player doesn't seem too territorial, and even if it was, it wouldn't pose too much of a threat to me, since it's in a lower weight class than I am. I'm not a big fan of the Protoceratops build since it relies on the burrowing trait and herding behavior to avoid attacks. This means it's pretty vulnerable when grinding for XP, and forces you to rely on your teammates, which, as I've said before, can be pretty hit or miss. It looks like both of us are just trying to grind XP at the nearby lake, so no sense initiating any sort of combat right now. At
Man,
the
where
lake,
is
a
he
quick stealth
getting
check reveals
this
nearby players and
footage?
gives us a pretty good sense of the local meta. We've got the typical mobility/evasion-based builds like ImBumi, the tank builds like the Dinosaur, and wackier, more niche builds like the Housecaraptor, a diving build whose techniques pioneered many of the modern waterfowl builds of today's meta.
A dinosaur
Anyways, now
duck?
that my character's thirst meter is topped up and I'm no longer in danger of incurring dehydration penalties, I think it's time I demonstrate one of the Dinosaur build's main advantages. So far, I haven't really done a good job showing why bipedalism is such a great trait. My character's forelimbs were shown earlier as being useful for reaching the leaves and branches that would normally be out of range, but forelimbs can be used for much more than that. You can probably guess that they'd be great in combat too, even though I opted to flee from those Tarbosaurus players. However, they can also be used for fishing.
Swipe.
I got pretty lucky here connecting my attack on the fish, since if I'd missed, my stealth advantage would be gone and the other fish players would have probably all scattered. Fish are worth way more XP than leaves are, so the Dinosaur build being omnivorous and having the ability to actually catch fish really does set this build apart from other more basic bipedal herbivores. It levels up much quicker because of this elevated XP rate, and that's why I'm already at the level required to unlock the mating ability. That about wraps up most of the objectives that I had for the short term. I've replenished my health, filled my hunger and thirst meters, and leveled up, so it's time to start the next section of my quest.
Finding new teammates to mate with.
One of the more controversial things about the reproduction questline is that in order to start it, you generally have to waste a few evolution points on unlocking cosmetics. Aesthetic buffs like more colorful feathers don't have much of an impact on gameplay, but the sad fact is that since the mating ability requires cooperation with another player, and because your offspring's stats are determined by the average between your character's stats and your partner's character, it's generally a good idea to find a partner who can afford to waste a few evolution points on pointless cosmetic upgrades, since this means they probably already have stats that were good enough to get them this far in their playthrough.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Like if we're talking about stats wise, if you reach this point and had enough stats to like put on cosmetics as he calls it, then you're basically letting others know that you're well off enough to be able to afford such well, in a term, waste of stats.
Points on blue feathers, a pretty expensive cosmetic upgrade, meaning they'd make a great choice to complete this part of the quest. If this player is also working on their mating quest line,
are we about to see dinosaur sex?
In which case, they'll activate their mating display ability. Looks like that's exactly what's going on. So if I want to accept his request, I have to also activate my mating display ability, which initiates the rhythm game portion of the quest.
Rhythm games. That's dumb. Oh man. I never really liked these games. I hope this doesn't get us taken down. This is good music though.
It's pretty short, and once it's over, the quest objective should update automatically saying that I've completed that portion of the reproduction quest. For players who chose a male character, the reproduction quest actually ends here. It's much easier and can be completed an unlimited amount of times per
Oh,
playthrough, but it's
so
with far fewer evolution points than the female's quest is.
so his
Players with female
character
characters
is
have to actually
female.
ensure that their offspring hatch and reach the age of
I
independence
did not realize
in order
that.
to complete the quest.
Then again,
Since
they
my
do have
character
the
is
egg
female,
icon
unfortunately,
there.
this means the difficulty of this quest will only increase from here on out, starting with the long, grueling objective defense section. To complete this section, all I technically have to do is make sure I spend at least 80% of my game time on the objective. This ensures the eggs get incubated and hatch with normal base stats and no congenital debuffs. This sounds simple, but it gives you very little time to forage for food to keep your health and stamina.
Wait, are those things encircling her the eggs? Or are those just perfectly good-looking stones?
Topped up. I should probably mention one of this build's traits that I haven't touched on yet, feathers. Most players assume feathers are only useful for those who feature the flight ability prominently in their playstyle, but their usefulness in that regard wasn't discovered until later. In the early Cretaceous meta, most players spec'd into feathers because they grant an incubation time bonus, shortening the duration of the objective defense portion of the quest. One of the toughest parts of this questline is that even the slightest lapse in vigilance can cost you greatly. Here, some raptor players were scouting my nest, and since I'm not part of a herd, they saw my eggs as an easy target. My perception abilities were plenty effective enough to detect them from far away, so they didn't get a stealth strike on me or anything. In fact, I detected them from far enough away that if I needed to flee, I probably could have escaped. Unfortunately, I'm not playing deathmatch right now, and I would lose automatically if I just fled and let the raptors capture the point. Perfect time to demonstrate how powerful Dinosaur's arms and claws really are.
Let's go. 4v1.
The raptor.
Use that
I
tail.
get a grab on the second raptor and take him out with a back throw. I whiff my next slash attack on the third raptor, but cancel it into a weaker backhand attack. And if I was playing at my best, I'd have used that stun time to try to take out the final enemy. But I got a little greedy and tried to finish the third raptor off first. This let the fourth raptor take the objective for a brief moment.
Yeah, you got one egg.
I noticed my mistake pretty quickly and used an intimidate move to retake the objective, but unfortunately I lost one of my eggs.
Ah,
Meaning I
yeah,
can't
so
get the
those things
100%
are
completion
eggs.
achievement on this playthrough. That's alright though.
That's
Hatching
sad.
39 of 40 eggs is still worth a ton of points.
100% run ruined.
I managed to not get attacked at all during the rest of the objective defense section of the quest. Now begins the hardest part of the game.
I find it pretty weird though that it laid out its eggs like that. I don't know if it's accurate for this particular dinosaur, but I mean, how is she incubating them if it's outside of her like warmth range, unless if she's just emanating heat.
The escort mission. After finishing with incubation, the new players spawn in with stats randomized mostly between my own stats and whatever stats that male Dinosaur build had. There's also a chance that the mutation effect will occur, which would let a stat get randomized outside of its normal potential range, but there's no way of controlling that. Anyways, in this section of the quest, you have to keep your own low-level teammates alive until they level up enough to be able to survive on their own. Some builds can survive on their own even at level 1, but most dinosaur builds need at least a bit of early game protection.
Yeah.
This part can take a while, so I'm gonna skip some of the boring parts. Okay, so at this point, my brood is only a few XP away from becoming self-sufficient. Just gotta feed them one more time, and boom, there we go. They're starting to level up.
Oh man, I like the sound effects.
It was at this point that I got really unlucky. A Tarbosaurus player detected my party and charged us.
Oh
And
no.
if I try to flee, it will kill all of my offspring and I'll have to start the entire quest over again.
Yep.
So I've gotta stand and fight.
Oh no, the
Tarbosaurus
sacrifice
whiffs
play.
the first bite attack, but cancels it into a head slap, knocking us both over. I retaliate with a bite of my own and a flurry of swipes. The bite does very little damage, and the swipes miss. He goes for another bite, and I try to push him away, but unfortunately he's able to resist the push.
Ooh,
Devastating
not
bite,
the neck.
dealing damage equal to well over a third of my health, and inflicting the bleed status effect. I push him off me, which gives me an opening as
she's
he
done.
which I use to get my first few solid swipes in. He counters with another head bash to knock me over, and then follows up with another bite attack, dealing nearly lethal damage. However, once I mash out of his grip, I land my best hit of the fight, a critical slash, which both deals tons of damage and knocks him over, giving me the chance to follow up and counter his get-up attack with another slash, and then combo that into a body slam. I go for one final roar and break his nerve, and he flees.
Intimidate. But the bleeding effect though,
By
yeah, she's
successfully
done.
defending my party, everyone in my party gets an XP bonus, causing my brood to level up to the point of self-sufficiency.
But
And just in
she's
time
done.
too, because the bleeding effect of the bite eventually wipes out my last sliver of HP. Having successfully finished the reproduction quest, I get the good ending to the game, racking
Good
up a ton of
ending.
evolution points, and actually came pretty close to outright winning a 1v1 with a fully leveled giant carnivore. All in all, great run.
Aww, that is sad.
This experimental type of video was made possible by CuriosityStream, and sourced its footage from their brand new documentary Amazing Dino World. Amazing Dino World is a fascinating glimpse into the lives of dinosaurs of the past, featuring top-level depictions of creatures like Dinochirus, Troodon, Mosasaurus, Spinosaurus, and Tyrannosaurus. If you want to watch the full thing, great news! I've secured all of my viewers a full month free trial of CuriosityStream. All you need to do is sign up at curiositystream.com/.
There you go, guys. If you want to get CuriosityStream, just use a TierZoo's link, curiositystream.com/TierZoo. It will help the channel out to produce more content for us to check out, so that's gonna be good. So yeah, this is, man, another really good video. This is the Dinochirus, right? Dinosaur names are very confusing to me. I apologize. Yeah, the Dinochirus. This is, wow. The clip that he used in the background to basically build out the story was very interesting. I myself probably couldn't afford a CuriosityStream at this point, so I'm gonna live my CuriosityStream life through his lens by what he decides to show us on his videos. But yeah, that was a really good suggestion again, Michelle. Keep them coming. But that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Link to my Twitter is down in the description below. Go check it out if you want to. And if you're new here and enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like. Let me know your thoughts on the video down in the comment section below, and consider subscribing. Again, don't forget to leave your suggestions on what I should check out next, anime or YouTube video. Any topic is open, well, somewhat open, but yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!